Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Shut Up and Read. Today I'll be doing the TBRs for all the readathons that I want to do for the month of May. For whatever reason, there are a ton of readathons happening this month, but for me, I'll only be participating in 2 of them. The first one is Asian Readathon, and the second one will be the Bookemon. So anyways, let's just get right into the video. So first, let's start off with the Asian Readathon, which will be for the entire month of May. This readathon is created by Cindy from Read with Cindy, and since May is also Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, this is the perfect time to host the Asian Readathon. I will include the rest of the information for this readathon down below. So there are only 5 reading challenges for this readathon, and the last one is just to read the group book, so it's actually pretty easy, to be honest, to join in and participate for this readathon. You can also double up, triple up, combine as many challenges as you want for a single book. But the only twist, I guess, is the fact that if you double up or whatever, combine all the challenges together, once you finish that book, you can't pick another book in that same ethnic category. For example, if you picked up a Japanese manga to complete challenges 1, 2, and whatever, the next book you pick up cannot be a Japanese book. So that's kind of the only twist to it, but yeah, I mean, overall though, it's actually a really simple readathon, and the challenge is actually really simple, so hopefully everyone can join in. So the first reading challenge is to read any book by an Asian author. So for this challenge, I'm picking up American Panda by Gloria Chow. I'm picking up this one mainly because this is a Taiwanese represent, and I'm Taiwanese, so this is actually an own voices novel for me. This is also a YA contemporary novel, and all I know about this book is that it's something to do with college. Either the girl is going to college, or she is just started college, something about that, and it's supposed to be cute, it's supposed to be fluffy, and I'm excited for it. Then the next challenge is to read a graphic novel featuring an Asian character or written/drawn by an Asian author. So manga, manhwa, and comics counts. So for this challenge, I decided to pick up Orange by Ichigo Takano. I have heard a lot of good things about this book. I actually decided to get a copy of it. I don't usually purchase mangas, but because this is actually, I believe, the first 3 volumes or something like that combined into one, so I figured this is actually more worthwhile for me to actually get it instead of read it somewhere else. But yeah, I got the first book. We'll see how this goes. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, so I'm pretty excited for it. Honestly, I have no idea in terms of what this is about, but it's supposed to be kind of bittersweet, I want to say, like heartbreak-ish. Maybe not. Actually, don't even quote me on that because I may be completely wrong, but I've heard a lot of good things. I think a lot of people, when they say some of their best mangas, they will recommend this one. So I have pretty high hopes for this one. The next challenge is to read a book featuring an intersectional Asian character or written by an intersectional Asian identity, i.e. queer, mixed, disabled, neurodiverse, etc. So for this one, I am finally on the bandwagon, guys. I'm excited to pick this one up, and that is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha and Young. I have been trying to read this book since, I want to say, when I did my fall reads video, which is way back when, and I still haven't read it yet, and everyone who has been reading it or has read it has been loving it, and it's just crazy, and I'm just really slow here, so I want to get on with this book as soon as possible. So this is a YA fantasy novel. It features a female-female relationship, and the main girl, Lei, is of the paper caste, which is basically the lowest caste. And from what I remember, the reason why she's part of the lowest caste is because they're all humans, and anyone above that caste are, like, I want to say demons or something like that, different creatures essentially. And this book is about how she somehow caught the attention of the king. I want to say he's a demon king, and somehow from there she falls in love with this other girl, etc., and things happen from there. And honestly, I've heard amazing things, so I'm very excited for this one. The next challenge is to read a book by an Asian author that was originally written in their own native language. Translated books and graphic novels count. So for this one, I'm going to pick up Orange again by Ichigo Takano because this was actually written in Japanese before, and this was translated into English. So actually, this book could have fulfilled all of the challenges, but because I didn't want to just read one book and the root book and call it a day, so I decided to pick up different books as well. And this is Japanese, and Girls of Paper and Fire, I believe, is Chinese Malaysian, and American Panda, as I said before, is Taiwanese. Then the last and final challenge is to read the group book, which is 1,000 Beginnings and Endings by Ellen O. And the live show will be on Saturday, May 25th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and it'll be on Read with Cindy's channel. So the funny story is that for the longest time, I've actually been avoiding reading this book because I don't like short stories, I don't like anthologies, and this is both. So I really don't know how I'm going to, if or when I'm going to read this book, to be honest. I'm going to try to read it, but I'm going to try to read it as an audiobook just because it might go faster for me if there even is an audiobook, which I really hope there is. So these are the 4 books I'm hoping to pick up for the Asian Readathon. Moving on to the Bookemon. So for Bookemon, it's slightly more complicated with the rules. It also runs between May 3rd to May 17th. And the reason why I say it's slightly complicated is because during that duration of time, that's when you can earn Stardust. And that is for the number of pages that you read. So I don't actually know. I need to ask them actually in terms of if these are the number of pages that you read for these badges that you're supposed to earn, or if it's just for the number of pages that you read overall. So that's actually a very important distinction, so I had to ask and figure that out, and I'll get back to you guys maybe when I edit this video. Hopefully by then I'll have the answers to it. And that leads me to the second part, and that is the badges. So there are a ton of badges. I will link more information down below for you guys to check it out, but you can actually accumulate and collect these badges for the entire month of May. So the 2-week duration about is only purely for the Stardust, and for the badges you have the entire month of May to collect. There are 3 teams. I want to say there are Mystic, Instinct, and Valor. I'm on Team Valor, so that's really all that matters, guys. And the group book, or battle book as I call it, is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Unfortunately though, I will not be reading this book because I literally just finished reading this book for the Magical Readathon, so I don't really want to reread it. I literally just read it, so I'm not going to be participating for this particular group book. Also, before I forget, there are also different ways of calculating points. For example, some of the badges cost different points, the group book costs different points, Stardust costs points as well. All the information will be down below because it's kind of complicated and it's kind of hard for me to explain everything, but all the information will be in that Google Doc down below. Anyways, because I'm not going to be doing the battle book, I want to focus most of my time on just getting the badges and obtaining those. So like I said already, there are a ton of badges, but I'm only going to share with you guys the badges I'm hoping to complete and the books I'm hoping to read for each badge. Also, kind of important is that you cannot combine books. So you can only read 1 book per badge. So the first badge that I really want to get is a pictorial badge, and that is to read a book that is in the comic / graphic novel / manga genre. And of course, because of the Asian Readathon, I'm going to pick up Orange by Ichigo Takano. I'm excited for this one, guys. The next badge that I want to get is the creative badge, and that is to read a book that is in the art / music genre. So for this one, I'm going to be reading an ebook, and that is Bright Burning Stars by A.K. Small. This is basically a mystery that is set in a ballet school, and I'm going to be part of the blog tour, so I really want to read it for the month of May, sometime during this readathon ideally, so very excited for this one. Then the next badge that I want to get is the Armour badge, and that is to read a book that is in the romance / contemporary genre. So for this one, I'm going to go with I Love You So Mochi by Sarah Kuhn. This is a YA contemporary novel. It follows a young girl called Kimi who has some sort of issues with her mother. Her estranged grandmother ends up inviting her to go to Kyoto, and she accepts, and there she ends up meeting a guy. So this book kind of focuses about the romance, it focuses about the culture, Japanese culture specifically. It also focuses about just mending things with her mother and learning more about her as well. And honestly, I'm very excited for this book. This book looks adorable, and I love mochi, so very excited for this one. Then the next badge I'm hoping to obtain is the Fantastical badge, and that is to read a book that's in a fantasy genre. So for this badge, I am going to pick up Stepsister by Jennifer Donnelly. This is basically a retelling of not Cinderella, but Cinderella's stepsister, which I feel like there's not that many about in the bookish world, so I'm very excited for this one, and I've heard good things about it so far, so I'm very intrigued. The next badge I'm hoping to get is the Chiller badge, and that is to read a book that's in the crime / thriller / mystery / suspense genre. Then for this book, I'm going to pick up The Breakdown by B.A. Paris, and this book has been sitting on my shelf since 2017, and I think it's high time for me to actually pick it up now, and I've heard amazing things about this book. This book is about a woman who one day when she goes home, she ends up seeing a woman sitting in her car alone, but she doesn't do anything about it. The next day, she hears or sees something on the news about how that woman was killed. And now she has this like sinking suspicion that maybe the killer saw her. So it's basically a psychological thriller, and I am so intrigued. As you guys know, I'm very much in the mood these days for mystery thriller novels, so I have very high hopes for this one. Then the next badge I'm going to get is the Scientific badge, and that is to read a book that's in a science fiction genre. So for this badge, I'm going to go with Waste of Space by Gina D'Amico. I have seen this book around for quite some time now, and it's also been sitting on my shelf since 2017, so I think it's high time for me to pick it up as well. So this book is about a reality TV show where they cram 10 teenagers into a spaceship and blast off. Of course, though, the production is actually fake, and in reality, they're hidden in a warehouse. But the show show is a success and millions of people are tuning in, and then all of a sudden communication gets cut off. And now no one can tell what is real and what is fake, and this whole thing goes on, and honestly I'm just really excited for this one. Then the last and final badge that I want to do for this readathon is the archival badge, and that is to read a book that is in the historical fiction genre. So for this badge I decided to pick up another book that has been sitting on my shelf for quite some time now, and that is A Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Kristen Hanna is one of my favorite authors of all time. I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet, I just haven't had the time to, so hopefully this readathon will allow me to finally take the time to pick up this book, which I have heard amazing things about and everyone has been loving it and raving about it, so very excited for this one. So these are all the books I'm hoping to pick up for the Asian Readathon as well as for Bookemon, and basically slash kind of this will be my TBR for the entire month of May, but of course knowing me that's not enough, so I have another TBR video coming out soon that's devoted to my books that I'm trying to read for the month of May as well as June. So I have a lot of books I'm trying to read. I think I have definitely bitten off more than I can chew. Is that even the phrase? I don't even know. And we'll see how that goes, guys. I have a sneaking suspicion that for my next 2 months, I want to say it is what, July and August, I'm going to have a lot of backups and rollovers, so we'll see, guys. We shall see. But regardless though, I'm extremely excited for both of these readathons. I will link down more information for you guys to check it out in case you want to join me for the Asian readathon as well as for Bookemon. Let me know down below. And let me know down below if you have read any of the books that I'm trying to pick up for these two readathons. If you have, did you like them? Did you not like them? Let me know down below. But as always, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe down below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!